The second question you should ask a potential spiritual teacher, or when evaluating a book to read about non-duality or enlightenment, is how can you help me wake up? The reason I wrote Mystical Oneness and the 9 Aspects of Being, this book, is because I wanted to present in one place everything you need to know to wake up and to integrate this spiritual awakening, this new way of living, into one place, into one book. I didn't want to fill a book with a lot of you're everything, you're nothing, you're everything, you're nothing, which a lot of non-dual books do that. The approach I take is, it's broken into like 3 sections, what I call tiers. But the first section is the fading approach. And rather than trying to drop the ego all at once, we try to weaken the sense of self, to soften the sense of self. And this makes that awakening process, which, as we saw in previous videos, or maybe there are videos coming up after this, that enlightenment is a skill. It's bringing online the 2 disparate parts of the brain, the personal and the impersonal, at the same time. While we can do that, we can have practices that help us do that, it won't hold if you have a strong sense of self. In other words, you'll go into this unified state, but that strong sense of self will pull you out. So the first part of the book is about weakening the ego, to make it easier to go into that state without getting pulled out inadvertently. The second phase of the book is about learning to wake up, learning to bring both those parts online. That's the mind opening. But it's also about the opening of the heart, the opening of the realizations of the love behind everything as a life force. This may sound new agey to you, but that's not the experience at all. What happens is, as the ego weakens, some other intelligence starts to wake up and operate in your life. It's called cosmic consciousness, and this is reflected in your life by what are often called cities in Sanskrit, but are basically paranormal events happening, life lining up consistently and bizarrely, but happening all the time. And this implies that there's another intelligence, another vaster, what most would call God, operating in your life much more now. So that's what I mean by the heart opening. That's the middle section, is all about the opening of the mind with enlightenment and the opening of the heart with this realization of this much vaster intelligence operating. The last part of the book, the third section, is all about integrating this new experience of being able to unify the impersonal and the impersonal at the same time, this feeling of oneness, the implications of this, the implications of a omnipotent being as part of your life. So it's about integrating that so that you can then take it back into the world and live in harmony with the world without feeling like you're making compromises or you're making excuses. I call it living authentically with enlightenment, you might call it. So that's what the third part of the book is about. But it's not just about theory. I am so adamant that we have to live this. So throughout the book, at the end of each of these, what I call aspects, these tools for awakening, I have practices, a series of practices for each of them. There's over 3 dozen practices in the book. So my answer to how I can help you wake up, it's this book. That's why you see it all the time in these videos. It really has everything you need to know. And it's not just these videos aren't just about a pitch for the book. I'm trying to provide you with information with each of these videos that you can take and use. So you'll get a lot out of the videos. You'll get a lot more if you spend the 10 bucks or so for the ebook, the 20 bucks for the print book. But you shouldn't invest your time if you don't agree with some of these things I'm saying, obviously. If it rubs you wrong, then by all means go find another teacher that works better for you. That's the key, is you want to find someone who works for you, but you also don't want to devotedly follow them if it doesn't make sense. And that's really kind of what these 3 questions are about. Does this teacher, does this book make sense to me? Does it fit with my belief system? Does it resonate enough with me that I'm willing to spend the time to look into it, to investigate it? Anyway, thanks for spending your time with me here. And the next video will be a little easier, a little lighter, because it's just about how I apply this to my everyday life. Thank you.